This show contains adult material. The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the producers, DJs, and or guests, and do not reflect the views or opinions of WNYX Radio. You're listening to The Shakeman Show.
This program contains adult material and language. Listener discretion is advised.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Are you ready?
It's showtime.
That's exactly what it is. It's on with the show. The Shakeman Show has returned. Welcome, everyone. It's great to be back. We're here live.
Live.
We're saying live?
Live.
We are live on WNYX
Radio.
Yes. It's great to be back. Thanks for listening, guys. I know you've been very patient as much as we have been. It's been a
Speak for
crazy
yourself.
last couple weeks.
Not patient at all.
I'm not a doctor. I have no patience.
Yeah, no patience. Exactly.
Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor. Not. Oh, wait. That's never mind.
That's something else.
What?
Yes.
It's a Star Trek reference. Never mind. You wouldn't know.
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
Wait, who?
Huh?
Wouldn't
Star
know?
Trek. You wouldn't know.
Who would know?
You?
Oh, she's a
Me?
geek. She knows
Oh,
Star
yeah.
Trek. Yeah.
Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not a sound guy.
Anyway, welcome to the show on WNYX Radio. Great to be back. Giving you the Shakeman Show live.
Live.
I can't believe we're saying that after all this time. Finally, it's happened.
Damn.
Did we just
time.
rewind?
Thanks to Johnny.
Okay.
I want to do before we go anywhere and do anything on this brand new show for you. I want to say a shout out to Johnny Rock for everything. That guy's been going through a lot these past few weeks, going crazy to have this up and running for us, man. He's a great dude, man. I tell
He's
you,
awesome.
he's awesome. For thank you, Johnny, for giving us the opportunity to get this show back on the air. And
You're
do
the
what we're
best,
doing.
Johnny.
Yes. It's awesome. We apologize for the technical difficulties because, you know,
It was Shaky's fault.
yeah, when we're given new toys, we have to learn how to play with them.
Yeah.
So,
never mind.
so took a little while to get things, going and update it and actually working correctly. So, sorry,
Oh,
all you people that were patient and waiting for us to come on. We are here. That's all that counts.
Thank you.
So, as usual,
Thank you for your support.
Now to my right, which is weird because now we sit in a kind of like a circle now. It's kind of
It's a rectangle.
yeah, it's kind of like
We wrecked it.
It's kind of cool.
We're at the
I
circle,
kind of
it's
like.
now a
I kind of
tangle.
dig it. But anyway, to my
Really?
right, my producer and co-host Jennifer B. Smith in the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also want to thank her for all the headaches and crap she's been going through the last few weeks.
Thank you
'cause,
for your headaches.
I mean, her and Johnny has been on the phone with each other, trying to get this all up and going, and it's just been crazy, man. So thank you to
I have
Jennifer.
Johnny on speed dial.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do. And we need him,
That's
trust
scary.
me. And the G-Man.
What?
Straight
is it?
across from me, I see his forehead. How you doing, pal?
Okay.
The G-Man in the house.
If my hairline moves back, and I'll have 5 head instead of 4 head.
Yeah. Wow.
He says you're welcome.
Yeah.
Aww.
Of course, Johnny.
I guess it means you can hear us.
You're the man. That's
Wait,
good.
he's-
That means,
wait.
yes, that means good. He can
Oh
hear.
crap! He's listening. Oh man.
Oh, and a surprise tonight,
Yes.
all the way to my left over
Right.
here. Don't
His
get me
far right.
Stop getting me confused.
All the way
To
to
my
his
left
far
is
right.
ex-co-producer Bob.
Ex co-producer?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not here
you're not
anymore.
I
here
know.
anymore.
I
Come
know.
on
I
now.
wish I was. I wish
She
I
just
could
said
be here.
X. Like, what the hell have you done
I
with the
wish
show?
I could be here.
What have you done with the show in the last like 3-4 months?
Yeah.
up
The
with you.
the old show.
Yeah,
Put up with
That
you.
doesn't
That's-
count. You have to.
No,
That's
that's
true.
right. Yeah.
So hot.
he's
That's true.
Bob.
Legally.
So tonight,
That's
Legally.
legally I do. That's
He's
true.
so
all
tonight she's
yours.
just a guest. She's just Bob.
I'm just Bob.
No
Bob.
title.
No title. Just
Bob.
Bob. Just
Bob.
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 Just
But
Bob.
anyway,
Just
guys,
Bob.
thanks for joining us tonight. We are so
movie.
excited about tonight, nervous and excited as we. This is kind of like it's our
Nervously
it's,
excited?
it's our first show. It's kind of like our very first show ever. It's what it feels like. It's real.
We're popping that cherry.
Yeah. Good. Anyway.
Okay,
I think
over there,
we're
Jen.
all a little old for that.
I think so.
Yeah.
A little late for that one.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
We're popping the cherry tonight. That's what we're doing. But
Oh,
anyway,
That's a weird.
it's great to be here, and we have a great show
Spring-loaded.
lined up for you. As you know, we got a brand new show this year. We got new segments that we're bringing to the show. That we
Oranges.
figure brand
Oranges.
new station, brand new segments. Man, I think that makes sense, don't you think?
It's a random statement. Oranges.
Oranges,
Segments.
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 See? Orange segment.
Yeah.
Ah, boy.
Anyway, thanks for listening, and
Sure.
please, we have a YouTube channel out there. Man.
Wait, one?
We do?
We have 3
Yeah,
actually.
I was going to say.
We have
Yeah.
old ones.
Yeah.
We have old ones, and we have a brand new one.
oldies but goodies.
Yeah, we have old ones
You have
like
goodies?
yeah.
Yeah.
We have the
pepperoncinis and olives.
we have the Shakeman Show, Shakeman Show fan page, which is some of our old memories on there, and we have the Shakeman Show 19, which is our brand new YouTube channel. So if you have not subscribed to them yet, what are you waiting for? Get on it.
Do it now.
Do it.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper now. Anyway.
Links.
So, yeah, please subscribe to that. It's great to be here on WNYX Radio. And also, we're back on TuneIn,
Yeah.
where you can get the TuneIn app for your smartphone, where you can take us anywhere. Take us anywhere you want.
I have a stupid phone.
Yeah, we have a lot of us have stupid phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do it on a stupid phone. It has to be smart.
And all you have to do is ask Alexa.
That's right.
I want to listen
Where's
to
she at?
WNYX radio.
Ooh.
And she'll
On
take you right to
TuneIn.
it, right?
Yes.
And she takes you right to it on TuneIn.
Really?
That's so cool. How cool is that?
That's awesome.
Let's try it. G-Man, ask
What?
Alexa.
He doesn't
she
have
here?
Alexa.
Oh,
He has
oh,
Siri.
man.
I have Siri.
That's right.
Well,
Yeah.
Siri's stupid. She doesn't
She's-
even know where hookers are.
What is?
She doesn't know where hookers are.
Really?
Really?
That's
I
I
think-
mean, you're in Philly. You know where hookers are. Come on.
Yeah, I know where they are in our town, but,
Is
and
that-
King of Prussia.
Kensington?
Are you talking about kids that skip school?
No.
No, those are
Oh.
hookies,
Oh,
not
oh.
hookers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But actually,
Big difference.
Siri,
Well,
Siri does
not
rap.
necessarily.
Maybe.
Maybe
They could
yeah.
be hooking to hooker.
Siri
That's
does.
true.
That's
Siri,
true.
They
Siri,
Yeah.
Siri can rap, though.
I don't want to hear Siri
You don't
rap
want to hear
again.
her rap?
No.
You heard her rap before, didn't
Yes,
you?
I
Yeah.
heard her rap before, and I'm not
Yeah.
really
Not a big fan of it.
up for it. No.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, in this
Gracias,
hour,
I
we're
appreciate
going to be doing a brand new segment called Rockipedia.
Rockipedia.
Yes, Rockipedia is, as I explained during our trial runs, is well, we're live now, so now you get to really hear what it was if you didn't listen to YouTube. But anyway, Rockipedia is going to be a featured artist every week on a different band, and this our very first one I picked from of course one of my favorite bands from the '80s, which is Dokken. Dokken is going to be our
Nice.
first feature artist on Rockipedia, which is coming up shortly. So stick around for that. And, of course, in our 7 o'clock hour, which is not too far away now because we got a little late, we have our 70s at 7, which I know G-Man will be excited
Oh,
about. He's a
yeah.
big 70 classic rock guy. So that'll be coming up in the 7 o'clock hour. So a lot to look forward to, man. A lot to look forward to. But we're here.
Woman,
We're live.
Man.
What?
don't just say man. It's sexist.
No, it's not.
Humans.
Oh,
is.
please
Wait, yeah,
stop it.
Jen, do you want us to
Don't
say
go there.
Do you prefer persons or humans?
Neither. I don't like humans or people.
It's just the same thing when you go
You don't.
when you go hey guys.
Just use guys.
Like
Use
yeah,
guys.
you say guys
I'll let it go.
You got it, right?
It's fine. Yes.
instead of like going hi guys and gals. You just go hey guys, what's
It's
up?
fine.
Hello,
And
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
that
children of
includes,
all
that
ages.
includes the group. Hey guys, right?
Hey, you guys.
But anyway,
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, we were pointing at something.
I can't even go into it.
Point.
That's what
Pointing.
pointing.
Yeah, pointing. Yeah.
Important?
No, pointing.
Poignant?
Pointing.
Point Dexter.
Point.
Did you just call for me?
Oh, no.
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 No, she said pointing.
You're giving me pain in my kidneys. Can you leave?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Malcolm and unfortunately Malcolm and Melvin
Melvin.
works for us this year.
Yeah.
On the
We
sidelines,
also
thank
have,
God. He won't
an
be on the air
engineer.
much. Oh, it's right. It's right. We brought back our engineer from like years ago.
Did everything half-assed.
Yeah.
He has a prosthetic now.
Oh, does
He's
he?
got a prosthetic ass.
Yes, I wanted
wait,
to ask
who-
you
So he
why'd
doesn't
you
fall
bring
off the toilet.
why'd you bring him back?
Why not? It's new equipment. Maybe he can do better.
So-
And there's more room under the table.
well, you can introduce him.
Well, new engineer this year will be Habib. Come on in, Habib. Or
Hey!
Up.
Hello.
I think up, maybe.
He looks different.
Yes. I got a haircut.
One haircut.
Actually, I was going bald, so I decided to wear a hairpiece.
I think something. Never mind.
You,
I'm not
you
going to go there.
noticed? You noticed my hairpiece?
Yeah, I guess so. You look different from the last time I saw you.
Because he's sitting straight, maybe.
Maybe I don't know.
I am not leaning.
Well, he used to be underneath the table all the time with
Yeah, true.
wires all wrapped around his throat and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I wasn't used to seeing him. Period.
I am not
Dude.
Eileen.
Welcome aboard. I had nothing to do with bringing you back, but welcome aboard.
I'm on the board. Oh, I'm very important. Thank you.
Yeah.
Habib is back.
All right,
Thanks,
get back
Jen.
to your spot.
Thank you.
Get over there.
There he goes. G-Man's happy about that because he's going to be on G-Man's side most of the time.
Yay. I might accidentally kick him when I was under the table.
Yeah, well, what's that
I was gonna
different from
use him
before?
From a footstool.
I just
Use him
hope
as
I
a
just hope I don't
footstool.
knock off the prosthesis.
Yeah,
Ew.
Yeah.
yeah. So let's welcome back Habib.
Hello.
Oh man, so I just want to say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, how are yous? It's great to see you back. Well, I've seen you guys the last few weeks. We've been.
Oh yeah.
Doing
Yeah,
trial runs
we've
and
been
practice.
here,
We didn't-
but
yeah.
they haven't been able to hear us.
That's true.
Unless they were listening on YouTube,
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's right. That's the only way. Yeah.
not live.
Oh,
but
that's
recorded.
Shakeman show 19.
Yes.
Yeah, subscribe.
All the
Yeah.
silliness of the training issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Jen's talking.
it's good. It's good to have Bob in here as a guest because she's basically doing the same thing she did when she was the co-producer. So it doesn't really matter.
You can't.
Keeping you in line. Yeah, I'm keeping you
I
in
was gonna
line.
say, yeah.
Doesn't
let me know
really
how that
matter.
works
It's
for
never
you.
did much
Yeah.
anyway. But
Wow.
yeah. So yeah, that's the way it goes. But anyway, are we getting excited and getting ready for Rockipedia?
Yeah.
Gee, man, hold back the. Oh my God, dude.
So excited.
So enthused.
Whoa, ho, ho, ho.
So enthused. Wow. Wow.
He is. He's
Yeah.
incredible.
All
I
right.
told you to be a little calmer next time, please.
All right, we're going to try to get through this because I actually pre-recorded Rockipedia, but I can't use it. So we're just going to have to do it
'Cause
live
he didn't
now.
talk to me.
I didn't
before
talk
he
to my
did it.
I didn't talk to my
He was
producer,
told to.
and I didn't do something right, so I can't use that.
There we
one.
go again. What's up with that?
Oh my God! So I can't use that.
All right. I don't know what's going on here. Bear with me.
He touched nothing.
No, I did nothing.
Brand new
whatsoever.
board.
Did nothing.
Brand new board. Oh wow, that sounds pretty wicked. Hello.
I am your father. I am your
That's
father.
B-side Darth Vader. It's creepy.
That's freaky,
I'm
man.
no longer going to speak.
I'm freaking out.
Idea. No idea. Bear
I
with me.
don't know. So soon.
Now we sound like robots. No, that's down the
That
basement.
yeah, that didn't help any.
That's down the basement.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Johnny
Ethel's
may
closet.
actually hear this and call in.
Let's hope so.
Johnny, we're not going to do this. Really?
We're talking through the pipes.
Trying to figure this out. Bear
Yeah.
with me.
You know, if we're gonna blame anybody, we're gonna blame G-Man. G-Man's got the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, he wasn't touching anything.
I know
he
it's kind of weird that he wasn't. That was
Okay,
just
I
kinda
have to again.
Habib, did you
Lashana
touch
Air
anything?
Arriving gate 2.
think my butt cheek fell off. I'm not sure.
Gate 3.
Watch
Okay.
the trim
Four.
car,
I didn't see Habib touch anything either.
Watch the trim car, please.
Wow. Yeah.
Move to
Next
the
stop.
side. Move to the side.
Round the outside, round the outside.
Next up, on the bus. On the bus. Go round and round, round and round, round and round.
Now.
That sounds. No, I was gonna say it sounds better. Never mind.
Now we're in a
started
tin
to.
can.
We're
Oh,
back
cool.
in our coffee can.
We're back in the Maxwell house.
That's where we
can.
live.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ow,
Oi, don't do
ow.
that.
Oh, I just wanted. That's a
Ooh.
cool echo.
That, no,
it's
Oh, that
not.
hurts.
It hurts.
Yes.
Sorry.
Very
In the
loud.
brain,
Oh, that does.
bouncing around still.
Yeah, that was rough.
Oh,
I
my
for-
brain hurts.
Yeah.
Pop my ear.
I forgot they got them. What's the name? Brains.
Soft and squishy.
Yeah, and little sensitive ears. Yeah.
Hey,
Screw you.
just
Whatever.
Because you're deaf.
yeah, really.
That's true. Yeah. Musician. Yeah.
Man.
So.
So nothing's happening here. You're not gonna try anymore.
Come on now.
I've tried everything I
He
can
doesn't
possibly
know what
maybe
to do. There's nothing-
Oh,
Oh.
take off. You know,
was that?
is there effects on? Just take effects off. Whatever.
No, I just muted everybody's mics. That's all. See, now mine's the only one working.
But he didn't-
You do realize he can
didn't
talk
do
loud
anything.
enough
I know he's got a big mouth.
to reach your microphone.
Yeah, he'll reach your mic.
Okay.
That's what a real radio DJ day does. You can hear them properly and loudly and clearly.
No, it's just his on.
Yeah, but the sound effect. There's no
There's
little thing
nothing-
click.
Oh, you know what?
Nothing on.
That doesn't sound too bad. I mean, it was worse.
Oh,
there.
See, now you got us back in Star Wars.
wow.
Knock it off.
There. See, nothing is on right now.
Okay.
Okay, now if we put this on, it goes back to the.
This guy's been practicing.
That's not
This,
too bad.
That
this guy's
doesn't
been
sound too
practicing with
bad.
this
It's not as
board
bad as
for
it was.
3 weeks.
The thing is, it was fine, and I wasn't touching no nothing, nowhere, no how.
Yeah.
Nobody that know how. And all of a sudden, it's kind of went kind of funky on us.
It's better than it
funky.
was.
Yeah.
It's better, but
It got funky
It got a little funky on us. Yeah, man. All right. Well, we're going to flow with it because
because we got show must go on.
show must go on.
On with the show.
On with the show. Nice.
John-
Thank you.
Nice.
Johnny said he didn't hear it.
No? I guess we're good then. We're just
Oh,
going to have to deal with
wow.
it then.
Thank God.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So I think it's time for some Rockipedia, ladies and gentlemen.
About damn time. All right.
Jesus, man.
And we're going to start with Rockin' with Dokken.
Do you want everybody muted but you?
Yeah.
Aye.
Please. Yes, because you guys are just going to screw me up. Thank you. Anyway. Rockipedia, our featured artist of the night, is Dokken. And as you know, Dokken formed back. Actually, Don Dokken went to Germany back in 1979, and he was in search of a record deal, and the record deal is what he got. He actually got signed as a solo artist, Don Dokken. Matter of fact, when he was working on his first album, which was Breaking the Chains, it was Don Dokken's Breaking the Chains. But then it was later changed to Dokken Breaking the Chains, and that's when over there in Germany in that around that time is when George Lynch and Mick Brown came over to record on the album. Funny thing is, there's been a lot of turmoil in the band from the beginning. As you know, through the whole 80s, the whole decade of the 80s, there's a lot of controversy on Dokken, between Don Dokken and George Lynch mostly. A lot of bad blood, a lot of egos, a lot of stuff going on like that. And Don Dokken was the scapegoat for all these years as he was blamed for his ego being the reason behind all that. Well, I got a little news for you. I did my research on that, and I can tell you that it wasn't Don Dokken's ego. So I'll tell you a little bit of the story real quickly before we get into the whole rock history of this band. But I want to set the story straight. So from the beginning, George Lynch, Mick Brown went over to record on Breaking the Chains in Germany. Refused Don's invitation to stay in the band and tour. They went back to the States and formed the band called Exciter. Or they might have been in the band Exciter already at the time, I'm not sure. But they went back to the States and refused to be in Dokken. So, during that time, when they were back in the States, they blamed Don Dokken and accused Don Dokken of stealing the material from the album they recorded on and went in there and just messed it all up and did his way, and they said it was dated music and all that stuff. Well, right from the horse's mouth, I should say, the guy that actually produced Breaking the Chains and was in the studio the whole time during it, Michael Wagner, said that they were not even in the band when the album was being written and all that stuff. So how can these two accuse Don Dokken of stealing the music if they weren't even in the band? These two knuckleheads. But anyway, and to bring the story down a little bit. So George Lynch was invited to be in Ozzy. He was supposed to join Ozzy shortly after the death of Randy Rhoads. Well, that lasted a whole 3 days. So George being broke, having no money. Oh, by the way, George Lynch got paid $2,500 to record on Breaking the Chains before he declined Don's offer and went back to the States. So he took his $2,500 and went back to the States. So, all right, so back to the story of George Lynch being a replacement for Randy Rhoads. Didn't happen. 3 days. That's all it lasted. So he gave Don a call and said, "Please take me back. I have no money." So Don brought him back. Mick Brown came back into the band. And then, and here's another funny thing about Breaking the Chains, as that's what we're going into right now, the first album of Breaking the Chains. Juan Crozier, as we know him from Rat fame. He was the bass player in Rat for most of their career. His picture is on the album. His name is on the album. But Juan Crozier did not play one single note on the album, which is funny. It was actually a friend of Don's, Pete, was on the album, not Juan Crozier. So it takes us to Breaking the Chains, which to me, I'm a huge Dokken fan, but to me, wasn't impressed with the first album, to be quite honest with you. Besides the title track, Breaking the Chains, I wasn't that impressed with the album. And I guess a lot of fans weren't either, because the band returned from the Breaking the Chains tour being broke and in debt, actually owing the record company money. That's not good. That's not a good way to start out. So anyway, the record company ready to drop Don and the boys. Don pleaded and begged the record company to give him another chance. He said, "I got a great idea for the next album. Give me another chance, and I swear to you, I will definitely get it right this time." Well, he came out with flying colors as Tooth and Nail was released in 1984. And I say, from to this very day, the best Dokken album out there. Even though a couple other ones came close, I still say from beginning to finish, this is a masterpiece in the Dokken collection. With right from the get-go, with Tooth and Nail, the title track, cool songs like Just Got Lucky, Bullets to Spare, When Heaven Comes Down, Into the Fire, and of course the ballad, the well-known ballad that was all over MTV, Alone Again. So this is an album that you can put on from beginning to finish without forwarding, skipping anything. It's a masterpiece, and I say it is Dokken's definite best album in their collection. Taking us to 1985, Under Lock and Key. Just when I thought they couldn't get close to Tooth and Nail. Well, they got really close with this album, as Under Lock and Key, which reached number 32 on the Billboard 200, by the way, and remained there for 67 weeks. Not bad. Not bad for a metal band. But anyway, this album came really close to Tooth and Nail. It wasn't a beginning. There's a few fillers on the album, but it gave us great songs as Unchain the Night, The Hunter, which is one of my favorites Dokken songs, In My Dreams, Lightning Strikes Again, and It's Not Love. So a lot of good title tracks on this album, but it had a few fillers on the album that I just say is a little bit short of trying to top Tooth and Nail, but I definitely recommend you put it in your collection because it's a great, great album. My second favorite Dokken album, by the way. Which brings us up to 1987, Back for the Attack. Now, this album was the album to give popularity to Dokken, because not only did Don write a song about the AIDS epidemic, which was riding high around that time, right after Freddie Mercury's death of that. He wrote the song Kiss of Death, which comes right at you at the beginning of the album with a killer riff. Not only were they popular for writing that song, but also they were asked to write a song for Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. And once this video came out with Freddie in the band and clips from the movie, the band got really popular really fast. And this is a great album. Another great album. There's some good albums on this from beginning to finish. There's a couple fillers on the album, but there's some great tracks on it. Kiss of Death coming at you right from the get-go. Prisoner, Night by Night, Standing in the Shadows, Heaven Sent. And I got to say, George Lynch did a phenomenal job on Mr. Scary on this album. And then you had some cool ballads on there like Burning Like a Flame, Sleepless Nights, stuff like that. Really good album. Not as good as Under Lock and Key and Tooth and Nail, but it's a really good album, and I do recommend that you put it in your collection. So the popularity of Dokken got really, really good. So and so good that in January 27th, 1988, L.A. Mayor Tom Bradley declared that day as Dokken Day, handed them the keys to the city. Not too bad for an 80s metal band, huh? Unfortunately, at the end of this tour and at the end of this album, they joined the Monsters of Rock tour, which was with the Scorpions, Metallica, and Van Halen. Unfortunately, the band was at each other's throats at this moment, especially George Lynch and Don Dokken, that they kind of didn't want to do anything together anymore. They were set to do a single video, which was called Don't Walk Away, or Just Walk Away, I'm sorry. And here the band was set up to go in to cut the video, and what happened was they had to go in individually to cut the video. So that goes to show you that the band was at the highest, at their top popularity, and the band broke up in 1989. Which brings us to 1990, when Don Dokken decided to put out a brand new solo album, which was called Rise from the Ashes. He brought in guitarist John Norum from Europe fame, and also Mickey D, the drummer from Motorhead, came in to be on this album. A good melodic album, which kind of proved that Lynch wasn't the signature sound of Don Dokken, because John Norum had a really good sound on this album, and it showed that Don can write without George Lynch in the band. So after years of bickering and putting each other down, Don and the boys decided to do a reunion with the original lineup. I guess George got a little jealous of John Norm's playing on that album, and he said, I better come back and try and outdo this guy. But anyway, go back to the ego thing. It wasn't Don Dokken, ladies and gentlemen. George, if you can go back to I went back to so many interviews with Don Dokken where he praised George Lynch so many times, and I couldn't find one interview or video of George Lynch ever saying a good word about Don. Anything he ever said that came out of his mouth about Don was negative. So it goes to show you, man, whose ego was a little bit. And I can tell you a little bit about George Lynch's ego in Philly a few years back during a Lynch Mob show, when a young fan, by the way, asked 5 minutes before the show, asked for a photo from George, and George just kind of pushed him off, said, "Get away from me," and then put the young fan on the spot when he was on stage by saying, "I don't come to your job to ask for a photo. Why do you come to mine?" Not cool. Not cool at all. Kind of changed my whole... I love George Lynch as a guitar player. He's a phenomenal guitar player, but as a person, not too crazy about the dude. So we're going to go up to 1995. The band reunited and did the album called Dysfunctional, which was more of a soulful, deeper kind of music. It wasn't the melodic 80s material that we're used to hearing from Dokken. It had a few good tunes on it, but it's not something that I was looking forward to in the comeback of the original lineup. I was hoping that they would come back with something with that melodic sound from the 80s, but I didn't get my wish. But anyway, being in the 90s grunge era, I'm sorry, threw up in my mouth. But anyway, 1997 Dokken release Shadow Life was an idea by Mr. Lynch, who decided, let's take the band in a different direction and try and fit in this 90s grunge era. What a bad idea that was. Anyway, the release of 1997 Shadow Life album, written 98% by George Lynch, was without a doubt the worst Dokken album ever. It sounded like any other garbage grunge album that came out in that era. It was a horrible album. I don't recommend you even get that for your collection. If you're a Dokken fan, it's one of them ones you want to keep out of your collection. So after that era, it kind of destroyed the original lineup, and the band broke up again, and they were gone. So in 1999, I got the surprise of my life. It was the release of Erase the Slate. And I heard this guitar player on this album, and his name was Reb Beach. And I didn't even know who the hell this guy was until I found out he was in Winger. So it goes to show you that this guy, I didn't even know this guy could play guitar or how good he was until he was in Dokken. I guess he was being, swallowed up in all that bubblegum crap in Winger that I couldn't even notice that the guy was a good guitar player. But anyway, he was a really good guitarist on this album and was really good. Sorry, Winger fans, but that's the way I feel. It's bubblegum crap to me. But anyway, so it was short-lived. After this tour and album, that Reb Beach went back to his bubblegum stuff and, disappeared into his guitar playing again. So 2002 is Long Way Home. This was the departure of Jeff Peelson. This is when he got a cool gig with Foreigner. And it shows on this album because Jeff Peelson was a big part of the writing of Dokken. And you could tell Don was on his own on this album because I'm not even going to waste much time on that. I don't recommend Long Way from Home from Dokken for your collection. But if you want to check it out, check it out. Which brings us up to 2004, Hell to Pay, the return of John Norum. After a fit of anger, though, during this tour, John punched a wall and broke his hand. So they had to bring a dude in from Italy. A dude from Italy came in to fill in. Alex Torterio from Italy came in to fill in for John Norum for the rest of the tour. The tour didn't do very well. The album didn't sell very well. Hell to Pay was a little bit better than Long From Home, but I got to say it's not a great album either. Which brings us, it's a funny story because the whole time this is all going on, Don Dokken had a guitar player in his sights, his lawyer, ladies and gentlemen, who's a phenomenal guitar player. And I kind of said to myself, why is Don not bringing this guy into his band? Well, he brought him in 2008 for the album Lightning Strikes Again. And to me, the ultimate Dokken sound came back. It sounded like an 80s Dokken album, which is what I've been looking for when the original lineup came back together, but it didn't happen. But anyway, when I heard this guy, John Levin, play for the first time, I said, George who? But anyway, this guy was playing so well at the time that George Lynch, and I saw George Lynch around that time. He was playing way better than George Lynch at that time. So it was a good pickup for Dokken. This is an album I definitely recommend. This was the sound of Dokken I was waiting for all these years to come back, and it finally did, to the release of Lightning Strikes Again in 2008. In 2011, at this point, George Lynch and the boys tried to get the original lineup back together, but Jeff Peelson was so busy with Foreigner touring constantly that they could not get it together. But of course, in a interview that year, George Lynch blamed it all on Don Dokken, saying he was the reason that the band couldn't get back together. It has nothing to do with Don. Jeff Peelson could not do it because he was in Foreigner. So a kind of a slap in the face to Don a few years later, there was a band formed called TNN by the original members of Dokken, which Mick Brown, George Lynch, and Jeff Peelson. Well, it was kind of like trying to slap Don in the face. It was kind of like a slap back in their own faces because it didn't work. It wasn't a good album. It didn't really sell. They didn't tour or do anything with it, so it kind of just fell on the back burner where it belonged. 2012 brings us the last recording of Dokken. It was called Broken Bones. Definitely Don's worst sounding vocally. He had surgery in 2010 on his throat for a lot of problems he was having, but it didn't seem to fix the problem. He sounded terrible on this album. Not a bad sounding album musically, but his falsetto was just not there. His sound was bad, and it's not a horrible album, but if you can get through it listening to Don, then hey, it's all yours. So unfortunately, this was the last recording of Dokken. The original lineup reformed a few years ago in 2016 to do a few shows, probably likely the last time you'll see that happen. So Dokken still marches on today with the lineup, the John Levin and a few guys in and out of the band. So Don's still keeping it alive. And I recommend, even though Don's voice is shot and gone, you still get to hear the classic songs. And I still say go out there and support all the 80s bands out there, man. So go out there and continue to support Dokken. They're definitely one of the most talented bands from that era. And I would say keep rocking with Dokken, man. That's it for our Rockipedia for tonight. So I think it's time to go to a commercial, guys. Thank you for joining us for Rockipedia. That was brought to you by Justice Rescue. Justice Rescue is a cool animal shelter located in Woodland, Pennsylvania. It's a nonprofit organization. All they ask, if you have anything to donate, blankets, anything that would help the animals, they recommend you stop by and drop them off. Also, they always say the same thing we say here at the Shakeman Show: adopt, don't shop. So Justice Rescue is our sponsor. That's right, of Rockipedia. All right, we're going to take a break, guys. We'll be right back. We're getting ready for our 70s at 7 coming at you in a few minutes, right after these messages.